Marc Soler continuing UAE's dominance at this race. A 7th stage win for the team, a 4th different individual winner. I mean, we're running out of ways to describe what this team are doing, Adam, quite frankly.
God, I'm a bit over it now, to be honest. I'm only joking. So we were in the green room earlier, we were joking, would you rather be on UAE or Visma in this race if you could choose a team to go and be with?
Yeah.
That team is going to be so much fun because they are winning day in, day out, and the morale, the atmosphere on the table, even where they're sitting on GC, Zhao's still doing good. But a win is so nice winning team. It's probably actually got quite boring at the dinner table because they're used to it. Oh, flipping heck, lads, I've had enough of champagne now. Let's cut it out. Can we have some orange juice or something? But yeah, unbelievable. And Marc Soler, the questions being asked, is he doing the right thing? Is he doing the wrong thing? Look, he's won a stage. Zhao's not lost time. In that situation, what would Marc Soler...
Little fraction on bonus seconds.
They've got 4 seconds in it.
All right, let's not go into like who did what to who here. You know what I mean? Come off it, you two. I'd take that win all day, 4 seconds. Pfft.
Well, the thing is, they're obviously chasing several different goals here because Zhao Almeida is going for the overall, but they are trying to nail this historic record for the most number of professional wins in a season. That record belongs to HCC Colombia on 85 wins. They've now made it 80 wins this year, so they are getting ever closer. And you think in 5 days' time they'll have it nailed.
You wouldn't want to bet against them at all, especially with Tadej later in the year as well coming back, and he'll probably snaffle up a few more wins. But it was just a fascinating stage for me. The sight of his Soler's team chasing, as it were, was the optics were quite weird. And I know our very own Sean Kelly was very critical of the tactics because it looked really bizarre, but in the end, it paid off. But I tell you what, I mean, Soler was on the radio. We were chatting, weren't we? It took us back to 2018, 2019, when Soler was away in a break of 2 of them, I think it was. He was told to come back, had to throw a stage win out the window. He threw his toys out the pram. Didn't happen today. Chuffed the lad. That's his 4th stage win in the Vuelta. He does love this race, doesn't he? But he had to work for that. And ultimately, there's a bit of a Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe chasing in the valley. But then it was his own teammates bringing that gap back. So that must have been really hard to hear. So clearly they had a plan today, but to see it unfold, especially in the closing stages, was weird. But he had to work for it. But I loved the bit just before this. The previous climb, he was getting dropped, to say that in inverted commas, on the drop, making it look as if he was really tired. And that was quite smart. I think he was just trying to throw, to give everybody a bit of a false sense of security, and then hit him really hard, and then drops down a mid-edge and just rode one of the races of his life to basically hold off his own team. So, I mean, they pulled it off, but it could have all... I mean, in the end, I mean, imagine if Vingegaard had gone. He got 2nd in the end. It was an interesting play, a risky one, but they've come up at the end of it with another stage win. I mean, and they're still in 2nd place overall. Yeah. So you can't criticise it. I love the fact they're taking a few risks. I love it.
A lot of risks, though, no?
Yeah.
I mean... Yes, but no. I think
by the normal functioning of professional cycling, you would consider this to be risky. I mean, Sean Kelly used the word crazy repeatedly in reference to their tactics today.
They've won. They've won the race. They've not lost time on GC. And ultimately, bring Marc Soler further down that mountain. Well, 2 seconds. Bring the race further down that mountain. Well, no, because Jonas still beat him, didn't he?
Yeah, but he lost bonus seconds to Jonas.
Yeah, but it's not a lot, is it? Flipping
He's still losing seconds,
but come off it, it's not a lot. I think if you brought Marc Soler back down that mountain, the job he would have been able to do, it might have only been for a select amount of time, so he wouldn't have been in that situation where he's on top of the climb with Almeida. So, you know, let him get within touching distance, and then it's up to the other guys. Zhao then can start to play the game a little bit. I understand why we're saying it, but also, we don't see this often, and I think that's why we're criticising it.
I don't know if we're criticising it so much as questioning it. Sean was criticising it, but we are asking legitimate questions. And we do see, or have seen, Visma doing pretty much this kind of approach to a Grand Tour before, and it working for them. Maybe not winning quite as much as this, but certainly allowing riders the freedom to go for the stage wins. Maybe this is just the new way of doing it.
I think it's brilliant. Like, I'm all for this. If you've got your team chasing you, I mean, they're riding for GC, so crack on, lads. I'm going to stay out here for as long as I can. But ultimately as well, if you did get into a point where they're saying we are going to catch you, they'll say it down the radio, look, we are going to catch you in the next minute or two, back off so you can give something to Zhao and contribute to that. And it's at the hardest point of the race if he had to, where he could have helped. But I can see why people will not really like it so much, but for me, I'm all for it.
It's not, I don't think it's, I don't like it. I think it's spectacular. I just think when it's unfolding, you're like, it's just really questionable because optically it looks absolutely crazy, but they've managed to pull it off time and time again. And what they've managed to do as well, they've managed to put the right rider in the breakaway. All of these wins, apart from Almeida's, have come from the break. And they've just put the right riders in the break. And we're looking at really big breaks, 25, 30 riders sometimes. And each time they've come out on top, they've absolutely nailed it. The only guys that haven't won now is Grosshartner, Oliveira, and Novak and Bjerg. But they're the riders that you wouldn't want up the front necessarily on a mountain stage.
They've still had a window, haven't they? Because of the team, they won the team time trial.
Yeah, so every break where there's been an opportunity, they've had the right rider in the break, and they've absolutely nailed it. And Almeida still had that freedom to move around. So it's rare that we see teams doing this. But again, I go back to my point from the other day. I think they know it's going to be hard to beat Vingegaard, so why not win races along the way? Why not end up second or third on the podium, although I think he can win, possibly, and scoop up 8 or 9 stage wins on the way? If he does end up on the podium and they've won 7 stages in the team time trial, what a race they've had. It's just an absolute celebration.